chilling, prime, state of mind. Finger licking, yeah, we're cooking up a Super Bowl.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us for episode 3 of our podcast. This is the Stay In specialist in S-class service, and tonight is you have some very important people. We're just not as many as we were last week. People are still trying to get their footing around everything and make everything in their life work. So right now we're still dropping links and things. I think some things are starting to slow down, but our server is growing bigger and bigger, and there's some projects coming online that kind of waiting before till I get the big thumbs up before I talk more about that. Ground floor, it's just I've added some news links and things. Stay Shop, our one member has added some stuff that she does in there, and they're really cool. The I can't even remember, Sugar J1. She's got some she does like these life-size cutouts. I don't know how she does it, but anyway, they're really nice. So if you want anything like that, a life-size cutout of any of the kids, she can get that done for you. And that's in our Stay Shop. So we have Stray Cloud, who has a lot of rooms, and I'll let her talk about her rooms.
Okay, so I guess I'll start with Love Day that I co-head with Chelsea. I was thinking of just reading one of the stories that was given.
Okay.
This one says, after listening, I realized that professionally I would take no crap, personally I would take no crap, etc., etc. I felt charged and alive. Honestly, I have felt like I was 24 again. I recently brought my husband's lunch, and as he was giving me a kiss goodbye, I was bopping along to Connected, my favorite. He chuckled and told me that he doesn't get it, but he thinks that Stray Kids suits me, that I reminded him of the girl he first dated. We were 19 when we were together. I wish that I could tell Channy what this crazy, wacky, enormous family of 8 guys and millions of stay has meant to me. I have had more fun in the past few months than I have had in ages. I only wish that I found them sooner. Thank you, Stray Kids. We love you so much. But that was sweet.
Yeah.
She said she doesn't exactly say how old she was. Well, she is now, but that was sweet.
Well,
so
it
that
could
was
have
one
been
of
in
our
a
stories in our Love State room. And then what?
Ow. I said that could have been in like, because some of the emails came and they were like 2 parts because they forgot to add something, but I was zooming through all these when I was trying to drop them, so I probably missed it somewhere.
Okay, and so we have our room 143, which are little sweet messages. Now, this is a little late, but I figured it would still be good to share. This is for Changmin's birthday. It's happiest birthday, my precious, lovely Binny. Thank you for blessing us with your talent and making our days brighter with your funny and lovely personality. We love you so much. And then another one is happy birthday, our Chang Binny. You have no idea how much impact you made in our lives. You helped me love myself a lot more with your encouraging words and outlook in life. Thank you for everything. May you always have a reason to be happy every day. Thought those were sweet to share in our little room 143 for the little messages. His birthday was like almost a month ago, but better late than ever.
Yeah.
Go into our chance den, which goes over Channy's room. We'll start with episode 2 since we did episode 1 last week. So a little bit about this is some of the playlists that they play is Insomnia, Mixtape Free, April Fools by Jimin, Days Gone by Day 6, Dreamy by Day 6, Instagram by Deans, and so on that he plays. Now in this episode, Bang Chan focuses more on like song recommendations and seems to be more comfortable and not as awkward as the first live that he did. But he was definitely more open and more active as he sung and danced with the songs that he played. Bang Chan does mention a few times that or he does mention one time that 2PM, their song 10 out of 10 was actually when he first got introduced into K-pop. And as he watched the music video, he fell in love with not only the song but the amazing like dance moves. They look like they're like acrobatic or something, and he was just like down the rabbit hole there because I guess that was just his little introduction into K-pop. Um, he also spoke a lot more English in his life, so he didn't have to like he did translate a few times, which was really helpful. We didn't have to wait for the translation on most of it, which was great. Um, then he tells us a little bit about his song and Insomnia and how it was known as I Can't Sleep, and that Three Rancha originally sang that song, just them three, and basically explains that that's one example of them creating like guides to their songs and how with their guides, they Three Racha basically when they make the songs, they sing it so that way the others can get an idea of how it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to sound to make it a little bit easier for them when they do it themselves.
Mhm.
And he does start talking about how the song Fall by Crush that he played during the live was one of his like go-to songs when he's like walking around and just thinking, going to the convenience store and listening to it and everything. And yeah, so this time when he actually ends the live, he ends it with like his little waves that he usually does. And one thing I was curious about that I brought up with Stray Wolf is that Chani says like 5 baby girls, and we're just wondering like when exactly does that start for Chani's baby girls? Because in his last live he said it like he's been saying it before as well. So I'm just curious if y'all know it.
Well, I think he started
I
out
tried.
saying baby girls, and then he realized that there's guys too, and so they extended it into baby stays. But there was one point where he was like, "So I'm your daddy," and that kind of freaked him out. So I think,
Yes, I do remember that. But that's what I was like saying, like, how did he come to like saying baby girls? Did he
yeah,
just offhand be like, "Oh, y'all are my baby girls" type thing, and that was just something that stuck with him?
I think he
Someone
just
probably
was thinking that it was mainly
Right.
a female audience, so he said baby girls, and it was brought to his attention that not everybody is a girl, so he switched it up.
we love a progressive chant.
I
Yeah.
thought, yeah. Um, as we go on to May's, let's say Staycare General, we'll go over a few more vocabs. First is fan chant, phrases that fans shout before an idol's performance, and the fan chants most often includes the names of each of the members of a group or an abbreviated version, as well as words, lines, or lyrics specific to that artist. Next is fandom, a portmanteau of the words fan and kingdom, encompassing everyone who loves Korean pop culture. Fan Cafe, a free option where the votes to a specific idol or idol group can get official information and updates released by entertainment companies. Ask questions to officials and fellow fans and browses new releases. Followers of these virtual communities can go through a process of leveling up. Fan Club, a place for membership fee paying diehards to get together over the internet. These groups are how entertainment companies judge the size of a group's fan base. Members get priority entry at weekly music show recordings and early bird ticket, which I'm excited for because that opens back up in November. So don't forget, I put a notification in my phone to remind me
Yeah,
this
it's
time.
like right at the
Uh,
last part of October is when they start opening.
I'm gonna have to make sure somebody's
yeah,
gonna
see,
it.
and the sucky part about last year is even if you miss it, they opened it back up like sometime
In
in like what end of
January.
beginning of January or mid January.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like they gave you a second chance, and still so many people missed it,
Yeah, but they only gave you like
including
3 days to find
But
the money. I mean, they're like,
yeah,
"Oh, we're going to open this up in 3 days," and it was like in the middle of the week, and it's like, okay,
yeah, it was definitely like missed. And our last word would be fan fiction, creative content in the form of graphic novels, short stories, comic strips, memes, and other multimedia starring characters based on K-pop and K-drama stars. Then we have that's done with Stay Care. And we move on to Maze of Memories, which is the sub room of Stay Care. I went ahead and we went through last week, we went through the members training periods. Now we're moving on to like how they actually started forming into Stray Kids and starred in a show. It's called Stray Kids Survival Show. In episode 1, part 1, it actually introduces two teams, one made by the company, which is called Two Team, and one that was self-made by a trainee, aka Bang Chan. Now that one is called, they actually originally were called Boys Project Team, that JYP named them. In this episode, it was a battle between the two teams to see who is ready to debut. In order to determine that, the two teams will be given time to practice in both the training room and on stage, where they will be giving evaluation on the performances into the final showcase, where it will be decided on which team will debut. Now, the first team that was introduced was Two Team. Now, they got to have little introductions with themselves to like say a little bit about them and how they came to forming that team. It also shows a little bit on like each of their strengths within the group and what how they were formed together. Now, when they say they're formed, the company itself usually makes the team with a group of people that feel like they will be good to debut together. But in this case, with the Boys Project team, JYP decided like, let's go on a little experiment and decide, let's let one of the trainees actually choose their members and see how well it works out. And that's how the survival show came about, because while they did allow them to choose their own teams, they still had to put them to the test and see if they were still good enough as a team to debut together.
Okay,
But the first one is just basically showing off that part.
Okay, so where did you find is it like something we can watch on the pre debut of those two boy teams?
Yes, it's the actual like videos on YouTube. So I actually put a link in the Maze of Memories, and I'm putting it link by link. So as I'm talking about episode 1, part 1, I put that link in it, so that way they can watch it as after they read it or whatnot to understand like a little bit more.
Yeah, okay, because I was thinking about that last night.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really wish we could watch the pre debut, because you know, in the survival, it's kind of like, you know, these kids have been hanging around each other for quite some time, but you don't know how much, and you don't know how they got together. They didn't just all of a sudden just, you know what I mean? I was like, I wonder how that evolved pre-date.
It doesn't have actual like videos or anything like that. Really, like it's, unless you dig very deep, I doubt there's really any videos showing them how they actually came together. It just showed like snippets. But like later on, as the years progress, it does like in like Two Kids Room or more other videos, they do explain a little bit more of how they came about, which I think I actually mentioned in Stay Care when introducing each of the members. Or no, it was in Maze of Memories. Before they get to the before they get to the survival show, I do mention how each of the members actually came into Stray Kids. So like Changbin and Han, they Han was like went to his was in Malaysia for 6 years, and when he came to Korea for an exam, before he went back to Malaysia, he decided like, you know what, I'm gonna take this opportunity to try to achieve my dream of becoming a singer. And so he made a deal with his parents to let him try to make it into an entertainment company within a year. If he manages to pull that off, they agree to let him stay. But if he doesn't, then he would have to return to Malaysia and continue his studies. Basically, what he did is that he went to an audition with a friend. They didn't really nothing really came about that audition, but another friend suggested to go to the JYP private audition that they happened to come about. And so like Han, thinking that it wasn't gonna happen, decided to go anyways because his friend wanted him to go with him. Han went and they actually liked him, so they offered him another audition. And when he went to the audition, he passed and was officially accepted into JYP in 2014. 3 years later, became part of the subunit 3 Racha when Bang Chan started training with him and noticed how talented he was and um how well he sings and raps and stuff like that. And he was just like, I'm gonna keep this guy with me because he seems pretty interesting and it seemed like
Yeah.
it would be good to keep him with him.
One of the things
Um,
that
And then
I remember, oh, sorry, is Lee
no,
No
go
was
ahead.
only training for like a month, but him and Bang Chan knew each other because they were roommates. So I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty interesting how they came around. And IN in his 3 tryouts because he wouldn't cut his hair.
I know, seriously. Honestly, most of the members, it's funny because Hyojin, he only when he first got an audition, it was just happy to come out to be one of the managers from the company was just like, hey, here, come and audition for this. They didn't know if he had any talent. There was no auditions, no nothing.
Yeah.
They're just like, come and try out and we'll see if you go it. And he passed within that time. And I think he was only a trainee for about 2 years before he joined joined Stray Kids. And Bang-chan mentions how
Hyunjin actually was given a card when he was, I want to say 9, and at the mall with his mom.
Yeah.
And so later on, they did the research and everything. But the only reason he got to be in Bang Chan's team is because he begged, because he was going out and doing evaluations with all these other people. But Bang Chan's teams always got the higher marks. And so Hyunjin begged and begged and begged before he would allow him in there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Changbin, he actually became a trainee in 2016 after winning second place in one of the JYP's open auditions. And that's where, when he became a trainee, he soon met Bang Chan and Han. They ended up becoming really close, and that's when they started forming a group of 3 Racha. Now, what was interesting about that is that a lot of people mention the order of when each member joined Stray Kids. And while they were already a 3 unit, while they were already a subunit, Changbin actually didn't join until after Hyunjin and Ian.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that kind of interesting.
Ian was the second
I wonder if it's
kid.
because yeah, which it's weird that Changbin wasn't.
Yeah,
wasn't
and what's
one
weird,
of the.
I just listening to you say that Changbin was second place. Sunmin did too. Sunmin won second place in an audition thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Bang Chan remembered
Yeah,
him
he did.
because Sunmin walked up and shook his hand because he wanted to meet the oldest trainee. And that's how Bang Chan remembered him.
That's why there's and so old jokes.
Yes, I'm sure. Poor Bang Chan. He takes it so well, though.
He loves his kids.
Good.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. But yeah, it does show that Singman did place second place, and he joined JYP in March of 2017 and became the 7th member in Stray Kids a year later. Felix, I think his situation was kind of close to Hyunjin, because it showed that he was also stopped on the streets by one of the managers and invited to audition at one of the JYP global auditions in Sydney.
Yeah.
And that's when, like in December 2016, but he didn't officially become a trainee until February 2016.
Right.
And he was only a trainee for about 8 to 9 months later, before he became.
Not even that much. He auditioned as a dancer. He didn't have to sing. He didn't have to do any of that. And he got it.
I saw that
but
one.
yeah, he graduated and then left on Valentine's Day that year, but he was only training for 3 months. The language was a huge barrier for him, but I think him and Bang Chan, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but anyway, because they were both from Australia.
Connected.
Yeah, they connected over the familiarity of living in another country. Plus, Bang Chan could speak English. So, but I think Bang Chan was
That
still
did help.
super, yeah, super scary at that point because when Felix came about, Bang Chan had just gone through an evaluation and everybody he was with got cut. Everybody. He was the only one left out of all of them. And at that point, he kind of went into that really dark place. So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually put a letter. I forgot which room I put it in, but I did put a letter where his mom kind of wrote him a letter after he debuted, and it kind of explains a little bit on how, for a while there, it seemed like he wanted to really give up.
For Felix or Bang Chan?
For Bang Chan.
Yeah, well, Bang Chan's mom got a lot of heat for letting him leave at 13 to go follow his dream. But I think the family came together and really helped, like, financially. So, I mean, yeah, they were given a lot of heat, but they still helped out type thing.
Oh yeah,
So,
here's the letter. Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I get not wanting, like, seeing the situation where, like, oh, he was too young to go do that by himself. But I mean, it was either that or he would have done something else. Like, any kept seeming, like, knowing how stubborn he was, he probably didn't really have a choice.
yeah, right.
But let's see, this letter, it says, so this is the letter that Chan's mom wrote to Chan in 2017 before the Survival show. So this was before they even debuted. It says, our son, Bang Chan, it's been 7 years since you started as a JYP trainee. Although it must have been a lonely and hard, short but long journey, you never once complained. Instead, with your own will, you worked hard and hoped to achieve your dreams. Living so far away from your mom and dad, we didn't even get to properly celebrate your birthday. I am a mother who could not once make you a warm breakfast. As a mother who was sick and received surgery, I could never be there for you. So this time today is an all joy for me. 7 years ago, when 800 people were selected for the JYP audition and Chan was one of them, I was hesitant if I should send him or not. After much thought, I decided to send you off to Korea. I received a lot of cold judgment for sending off my very young son. People would always ask me, when will my son be debuting? I would say to them, he is too young and still learning. I answered these questions consistently for 7 years. I'm most thankful to my close friends who would reply for me. They would say to those who asked his debut consistently to not ask if he's having a hard time, but instead to say, you'll be waiting. Whenever Chan came home, they would give him words of encouragement. You can do it. Even though they don't have much, they would buy Chan a meal and give him allowance so that he could buy a meal when he returns to Korea. Now all that is left is to give back to those uncles and aunts and friends. Today is Chan's first time on TV. I am not writing this to show off, but to support and cheer on my Chan, who will be on a new starting point, 7 years. Our Chan, who would call every night missing us. My son would cry under his breath in hopes that I wouldn't hear and worry. I ask for your support to my Chan, who has endured these years well. Chan, I love you, Mom. Dad will always trust and support you no matter what you become.
Yeah, that had to been hard.
Yeah. I'm sure, but you know, now look at him.
Yeah,
He's definitely
right.
reaching the top.
And with Hannah doing like she did, and then I think the younger one is pretty musically talented too. So I look forward to
Yeah, he
watching that
does
whole
mention that
family.
in,
Mhm.
well, Trent does mention that, I believe, in his first life, where he does mention like his family is pretty musical and how
Mhm.
his little brother actually has a video somewhere online of him playing an instrument. I
Yeah,
haven't seen it yet, but it's out there. I didn't want to
right.
post it because if nobody's really posted it about it, I'm sure like not everybody like maybe that he's not comfortable with showing it, you know.
He's very private. That's why we don't have like 3
Yes,
million pictures of him online.
yes, seriously. So our next one is Stray Kids lore. Now this one I found a really cool video that I posted the link to in Stray Kids lore. Basically this uh but basically uh so this one is based off of the album Ordinary. Now, it shows that whenever it basically like symbolizes whenever you see red lights, the members are in their like odd or true form. The simile dropping in oddity is the um, relation to putting on a fake smile with then removing that mask, which is the like removing that fake smile. Now there was two different versions of the album, which was the scanning version, which was blue, and the mask off version, which was red. Now in the scanning version, it has a type of like arch, and in the video, you'll see that Changbin is actually under a like airport scanner or whatnot. And when he is under there, there's like a red light that scans it, and it's like it's saying that his mask, when his mask is off, it's basically revealing like his true emotion. So that's one of the theories that this person thought was interesting to put out there about Ordinary,
That's
which
interesting.
I kind of think I can see it. I could definitely see it.
I
Yeah, I would
always
definitely check out that video.
I always thought of Felix as a monster, like Frankenstein's monster, because Hunjin pushes him out the window. And then in the Mama Awards, you saw him basically in a cage, waking up, coming back to life. And then at the very end of the Ordinary trailer, one of Felix's eyes turns into a light, like the Terminators, except it's a green light. So that's just a little something to throw out there too.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that.
Yeah. There's just so much, so much going on in every single video. All
I
right.
know, seriously.
Yeah. The fam room, we still haven't had a whole lot going on in there. Bang Chan's dad got a Father's Day present, and it was like golf clubs or something like that. But our Father's Day is in June, so it's kind of weird for me. And then Hunjin's family was at the concert this weekend, and Felix's family was at the concert, and his younger sister posted a picture of her, a selfie. Other than that, there hadn't been a whole lot going on in there. Taste Restaurant. The guys have been taking pictures of food, but they're not telling us what it is. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I know Lino does like close up pictures.
Yeah. And it doesn't help. Oh, was it Sunmin or somebody is like, yeah, I had eel over rice or something like that. Maybe it was Ian, but I was like, yeah, there was no picture for that, and I'm probably not going to eat that anyway.
Take the chicken.
Yeah. Well, it's the fact I live in the middle of USA, and we just don't have eel here, and I probably don't want it from wherever it came from. The bakery, I haven't seen a whole lot. Connected. We've had a lot of activity across all of their social media platforms this week. We've had lives. Hyunjin went live because of his collab with Troy and Pink Pantheress. Lino went live. Changbin went in with Lino on some things. Pictures galore. I have a feeling Felix is taking a lot of their pictures that are being posted lately. I've seen pictures of Hyunjin, IN, Han, Bang Chan
Bei Chan just put up some pictures.
just now. He's never looking at the
I think
camera. He's always like
maybe-
hiding his face.
I know.
Lino
It's
has
a
it.
beautiful thing.
I know. Han, the pictures we see of Han were taken by Felix. I can't wait to see that whole series because it looked really nice. He had some great pictures. Who am I missing? Benny. I didn't see any pictures from Changbin. Felix Sunman. Did we have? I don't think we had anything from Sunman this week, other than him talking about he drank too much water at the concert. I'm like, well, you danced it all off, so I don't know how that could be possible. Bubble's been kind of funny this week. They've had some interesting things. Nero, it's your Just Breathe with Han. Your gym,
Okay.
your
I haven't
salon.
posted anything as of lately since last week. I've actually been quite busy.
Yeah.
But I am looking at finding different ways for other people to cope with other things. I will be talking to like a specialist to like help out with some ideas as well for that. Do you want me to just like talk about like all three of them?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. As for Becky's gym, I actually gotta go find the video, but I came across a video for push-up training for those who can't do push-ups but want to. So I gotta go find that one. Someone's area. I'm still trying to find other hair brands, hair care products for people. So that'll have to wait until I can find more.
There's been a few things happening this week. I hope I get it out before it all comes down. Skincare and stuff. I don't think she's put a lot in there. The art. Everybody's been busy, like super busy. We did have a couple of, I guess they're famous. I don't know who they are, but that means absolutely nothing. A guy named Bada, Bada, Lee, Lee, and he was dancing to Heyday. He got video of that. A group or a singer, I don't know which one, named Chase, and I just lost it. Chase Atlantic. When Han was playing guitar and Channy was on drums, that song that they were playing was from Chase Atlantic. And Chase Atlantic saw it and has reached out and hopefully can get a collab there with them. There's just like so much going on.
Yeah, the Social Path was released.
Oh, that song. That is a banger. I love that. I think it's my new favorite one right now. Her voice just
Yeah,
compliments
I've
them
listened to
so
it like 10
well.
times.
Yeah,
I think
It really does.
she compliments them very well. I'd like to see some more collabs with her, but not up to me.
I know Chan was over here, was like, give like a 3-page review on what you think of the song.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then he marked that out.
I only got one
like,
page.
It's a good song. I like the song. I just want to know the story behind it and how long ago he actually wrote it.
I think a lot of people like base it on like, oh, when they were trainees, It does make a lot of sense on how, like, a lot of people do think that they give up a big part of their childhood and that they'll probably never get back. And they're basically calling it out in the video saying like, yeah, we gave up our youth for our stuff, but that's just like, there's no point looking back to the past. It's just moving forward at this point and trying to reach that dream. The
Yeah,
one
I
thing that
think
confused me a little bit in the video was that a lot of the time, a lot of the faceless figures would like reach out or try to grab each of the members except for Ian. Like they basically brushed past them, like his existence wasn't there. And I wonder if that was like his way of putting it out there that he, for a while, he felt like he didn't exist, like he
that's
wasn't noticeable.
interesting. Now I got to go watch that video again. There are lore theories around IN that he knows who he is, he knows where he's supposed to be, he knows where he's going type theories. Some of the other ones were still straying. They didn't know who they were, they didn't know where they were going, they didn't, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe I'll have to go watch that video. I did not, well, when I watch stuff, I'm not actually watching stuff. It's like background noise for me. So I'll have to actually pay attention. I know that lots of things have been dropping in the Discord server. Sugar J1 has dropped a lot of pictures and things in Han's room. It's all still just being dropped and coming together. I mean, it'll never be done because the kids will never be done. Do y'all have anything else you want to chat about?
Changbin's song for Samsung came out.
Oh, Fly
Finally.
High. There is a
And-
Oh
template
yeah, but
going
is that
around
international?
where people can email this company and tell them, that we're upset that his song is not available on platforms for everybody. I don't find a purpose for
Yeah.
that. I mean, there's only so many they're going to read before they start throwing them away.
It's on
I just
YouTube.
say,
I mean, look what that does
Yeah.
to JYP.
yeah, exactly. I don't think it'll ever be on
It wasn't
Spotify
good-
because it is literally a song for a product. So technically that company owns that song, so they can pretty much do with it what they want. I mean, we can't even hardly get the products here, much less the song.
I do like the music video to it,
It was-
though, because like
It was really cute.
it was what?
It was cute.
I wonder if like they were all like actually there with them, or were they just
Yeah.
paid actors that were in the music video with them?
Well, because they had a photo booth set up,
lot-
and did you see it with the three girls? They were doing the pictures, and Changbin slips in behind and takes a picture, and then they all
Yeah.
freak out. Yeah. So, I mean, they
That's
were
why I was
probably,
wondering that, because I was
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
that must have been
So-
so fun. I wish, like, let me go back to school so I can experience that with them.
Right. Anyway.
If I would have known
okay.
that, I would have slipped right in there.
Yeah, right. I guess we're done. Oh, someone's got a baby Felix. I don't know who this is. I think I follow him, but they got some good stuff. Yeah, I follow him. Okay. I don't think we have anything else going on this week other than Wednesday's drop that I'm waiting on for times and things. So,
Yeah, and their dome tour.
yeah, they go back next weekend. Is that right? They go back next weekend and do back-to-back concerts, and then they literally have the VMAs on that Tuesday? I think.
Oh yeah, it's on the 12th. I think it's on the 12th.
They're gonna have to like fly straight from Japan to America, because for
The
us
dome
it's the
tours look
12th.
awesome.
What?
Like the dome tours look really cool. I wish I was there, to be honest. Like
I
Chan
know,
looks
right?
like he's for real feeling himself. He looks like he's in his element.
Yes. So Peace out,
Even
ladies.
that meme.
Bye.
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 Bye.